You're listening to a podcast from 702.
702.
Travel.
This travel feature is brought to you by Lyft, South Africa's most flexible airline. And today we're going to be talking to Gabbi Brondani about traveling across the river cruising. And it's a unique way, if you've never tried it before, of exploring countries. You're not on the ocean, you're on the river, so you can really get into the heart of the country, can't you? Down those waterways. And apparently it's very safe, and you can dip and choose into what sort of package that you want. And we're going to be discussing all of that and more with Gabbi. I think we've got Gabbi on the line now. Hello, Gabbi.
Good afternoon, Jan. How are you?
Hi, Gabbi. Sorry, I was waiting for you and you were waiting for me. But I'm good. Good to have you with us. All right, tell us about river cruising. And if anyone, by the way, has been on a river cruise and they want to tell us what it's all about, give us a call.
Awesome. So as you've mentioned, river cruising is really one of the most unique ways to travel the world and to visit different places. What river cruising essentially is, it's essentially a floating boutique hotel. This is how Uniworld Riverboat Cruises describe their river cruises. They're one of the most well-known providers of river cruises in the world. So with these floating boutique hotels, you're essentially on a much smaller boat when compared to an ocean liner or a cruise liner. And you're floating along the river, which is something really, really special. So one of the big reasons why a lot more people are choosing to go on river cruises is that they are, as I mentioned, smaller ships, there are fewer passengers, and just the camaraderie is just something so special. So, again, when compared to cruise liners, there's a much lower passenger count. And with river cruise passengers, you have the opportunity to really get to know each other through fun themed nights and dinners. And it really creates a close-knit community feeling. Some people, that's not their travel style at all. But for a lot of people, it really is something special, especially post-pandemic, where people want that human interaction and to just build that sense of community, whether it's on your travel or in your everyday life. With river cruises, there's also not much worry about cramped quarters or long lines. Everything is basically taken care of on your cruise. So there's also a much higher crew to passenger ratio. So, for example, on the River Princess with Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, they've got one staff to every 3 passengers, which is quite a good ratio.
That's quite something.
So you always, it is something. So you always feel like you're taken care of. There's that personal touch. Another really wonderful thing about river cruises is that there's easy access to the heart of your destination. So you're essentially docking in ports that are quite close to major city centers, and you're able to get to the destinations a lot quicker and easier without having to deal with long traffic delays or expensive cab fares. And this is a great option for travelers who want to experience multiple destinations in one trip. So you don't have to stick to just the coast when you're on a river cruise. These river cruises can take you right into the heart of the destinations, and you get to explore a lot more of the various places with a bit more time on your hands.
No, I mean, I love it. And you know, I did whitewater rafting. That's the only time I've been down a river. And it's possibly the most frightening thing down the Zambezi I've ever had to do. So obviously this is nothing quite like that. But I'd never really thought of river cruising before. And actually your mind just swells, doesn't it? Just thinking of the magnificent rivers that you can go down. Just tell us some of the best ones out there.
Yes, absolutely. And as you mentioned, river cruising is actually also one of the more relaxed ways to actually see the world. As you can imagine, with it not being on the ocean, you aren't worried about the waves and any kind of storms and that kind of thing. That's probably one of my fears about being on the ocean and the waves and all of that kind of stuff. With the river cruises, you've got breathtaking scenery from your cabin window, and it really is. You can also choose options where you have your own balcony. And when it comes to the various types of river cruises, there's really so much for all different types of travelers. So in general, European river cruises are some of the most popular and some of the best cruise options out there, just because they cruise to some of the most beautiful destinations in the world. And these cruises typically travel to a variety of different countries and attractions, and also include stunningly beautiful waterways and world-renowned tourist destinations and exotic locations. Some of the most popular destinations for river cruises in Europe include Portugal, France, Italy, Spain, which cover Central Europe, Eastern Europe, and so much more. And there's also different types of river cruises you can choose based on itineraries. So if you're a wine lover, you can cover a river cruise going through the wine regions in France. These are incredible. Others cover Christmas market hopping across Europe, and there's just so many others that you can choose based on what's your travel preference or what you enjoy doing.
And Gabby, tell me, I mean, is there a certain amount of time that you spend on the boat? So do you stop every day? And obviously it'll change per country, but what is the thinking? I mean, is there a norm to it?
Yes, so it definitely differs depending on the type of river cruise, the duration you've chosen. You can do river cruises anywhere from around 3 to 5 days upwards to 2 weeks maybe. So some people like to do quite longer river cruises. For a lot more people, a week, 5 days to a week is normally the preferred length. And you're usually stopping in a different place every day just because getting to the various destinations on the river is a lot quicker and a lot easier than if you were to sort of like take planes and that kind of thing. And along the way, you've also got the most beautiful scenery, as you said, through the window, and it's very peaceful, very relaxing. So with river cruises, you can definitely tailor your experience and how long you'd like to spend in different cities based on what you're interested in. Okay, and how expensive are they? So it depends. So when you're comparing prices and features, you also need to look at the different types of river cruises. Most of them are all-inclusive, so it covers all your meals, your free-flowing premium wines, beers, spirits. A lot of them are 5 stars. It covers all your onboard entertainment and also select excursions. Mm-hmm. So depending on it, you can find quite affordable river cruises. Obviously, the longer you go for on these river cruises, the price does climb just because you're paying for the accommodation on the river cruise for a longer period of time and additional excursions and that kind of thing as well. But yeah, it depends. Again, you can tailor it based on your budget and what your preference is, how long you'd like to go for, and what type of experience you'd like to have on a river cruise.
And how kid-friendly is it? I should imagine that some cruises are purely for adults and no kids, because if that's what you don't want, it could be a little intrusive.
Yes, and this is actually a good point. So when you are investigating different river cruises, make sure you do read if kids are allowed. A lot of the time, not always, but most of the time, certain river cruises are for adults only. And it makes sense, particularly with the river cruises going to the French wine regions, having kids on board where people are sort of like hopping from one wine region to the next may not be the most appropriate thing. So yes, some of them are kid-friendly, but a lot of them are adult-only, which a lot of people also enjoy, if that's their travel style preference.
And Gabby, briefly, if you would, if somebody wants to get hold of you to find out more, what should they do?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Gabbi Brondani, and I'm happy to answer any questions anytime. If anyone has any specific travel requests, anytime on Twitter.
Gabby, thank you very much.